Hi guys, it's Jen again. It's been a little while since I've done one of my little musings on life, so I just figured with everything going on with the COVID-19 thing, that I had a little something to say about loneliness. A good friend of mine made a comment and said, "You're so lucky that you have so many people around you." We have 6 people in this house, 3 generations, my mom, my dad, me, and my 3 boys. So our problem is a little bit opposite of everyone else's. We're trying to find a quiet place to get away from everybody. Um, Actually, that's not true. We really get along. We're lucky. But that comment made me think about how many people are probably out there alone, feeling sad, and wanting to get back out and get with people. And we had Easter just a couple weeks ago, and it made me think of this time. Um, Probably the loneliest memory I have, or one of them. I was recently divorced, and the boys and I had just moved in here with my mom and dad. It was Easter, and my parents had gone to California to spend it with my brother and his family. So they were down and away, and my ex had stopped by to pick up the kids for some time with his family on Easter. And so my boys have always been super sweet. I knew they would worry about me and, "Are you gonna be okay all by yourself?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be fine," and smiled for them and walked them to the door and waved them off. And I remember waving them off, closing the door, turning around, hitting the door with my back, and just sliding into a puddle on the floor and just sobbing. I wept. I ugly cried for probably 45 minutes, just bawled. I felt so alone, and I remember laying there for a while and thinking, I don't want this day to go by like this. Is this how I'm gonna let it end? I got up, I went downstairs, I got myself as cleaned up as you could after crying like that. It wasn't pretty, I'm sure, just snot and puffy eyes, and but I fixed myself up, got dressed, and went out for a drive. And I drove around for a while, and then I stopped at the grocery store and bought myself some dessert and put on some uplifting music. And I drove home and decided that I was going to cook in the kitchen as if I was having a party. And I made oven fried chicken and corn fritters, and I cooked like I was about to have 15 people over. Put on my apron, cranked up the music, and just went to town in the kitchen. And set the table for one with all of our prettiest stuff, crystal and china, and one little place setting for me. And there were tons of leftovers for my kids for days. But I remember thinking, you have to make an effort sometimes. And I put on a funny movie, and I sat down at my little table for me on Easter with the food that I had made and the little dessert that I had bought, and I celebrated as best I could in as sad a state as I was. And by no means is it a great memory for me. Probably my least favorite Easter, and still a very sad memory, but so much better than it could have been had I just stayed on the floor. And I've been thinking about that a lot with people being shut in by themselves, that, it's not always easy. Sometimes you have to make an effort, but that effort makes a difference. And so if you're home by yourself and it's just you, tune in and say hi to us, shoot me a message, set your table for you, get up and put something pretty on, and don't sit around on your sweatpants for a couple of months, because you'll notice you won't be so happy. Make an effort. Sometimes that's all it takes, and it might not be amazing. You might not feel like the best of your days, but you're not going to feel like the worst of your days either. And that's just my little 2 cents on being alone right now during this shut-in. We're grateful that we get to hear from you guys, and that people even watch or care, and hope everybody's well out there. We'll see you soon.